This time we start with men's ice hockey as they get ready to take on an exhibition game with Toronto coming up this Saturday at Agganis Arena. And with that, we welcome in our first guest, a senior forward from West Haven, Connecticut. We welcome in Joe Pereira. Joe, good to have you back on.
Joe.
Hey, what's going on, boys?
Always a pleasure.
You've seen this setup before, right? You're used to this by now.
It's evolving.
I know.
Freshman year, stuck in a corner, just one table.
Drafty outside there in the
now we
corridor.
got camera in the big screen.
Now,
on the big stage now, huh?
I will say this though. I think we've been having some technical difficulties with our headsets. This headset you're wearing right now, I think, is 3 times the size of his actual head. This is
heavy duty.
We didn't mean to do that, Joe. That was unintentional. We apologize.
Well, it's amazing what we've come, obviously, and certainly you've been part of this team. One of 2 seniors on this team.
2 seniors.
2 seniors. Just talk about now all of a sudden your leadership roles. You've been with this program now for your 4th season, and all of a sudden you're put into a role that I guess you were used to from last year as well.
Yeah, I think being one of the only senior forwards, defensemen that play, I think it comes down to being consistent, having the right attitude coming to work every day, working hard on and off the ice, and also telling guys what it takes to play. I've seen the ups and downs, so I think just keep working hard and kind of just be consistent and show what it means to be a BU hockey player.
Well, you are the only forward or defenseman on this team.
We started with 7, now we're down to 2.
Last man in the new version of Last Man Standing, starring Joe Pereira.
I know.
And Joe, it's amazing.
I like my chances though.
Absolutely. I was going to say,
the odds are in your favor all of a sudden, aren't they?
I'm going to bet on Joe, no question. It's always a safe bet to bet on Joe. And Joe, it really, from the time that you did come in as a freshman, and I can remember you coming in from the South Kent program at that time. You had obviously a very heralded group that came in with you at that time, and they've all dispersed elsewhere. They've moved on, but you're here really to really carry the flag this season for BU hockey. And you're the kind of guy, when I think back to getting to know you as a freshman, I envision you as maybe being captain material because of your work ethic, your leadership qualities that I think you exhibited from the beginning. Now you're it. Now you're the guy. How's it feel?
I think it's an honor. Not many people can say they're a captain of BU hockey team. So also it comes with big shoes to fill too. You got to come to work every day. And you got to lead by example. I've had some great captains here. That showed me along the way. Obviously see Johnny, McCarthy, and Matt, and you see how they've led the team. If you can be almost just half as good as those guys, then you're doing pretty well.
I'm just curious what comes with it. You have, daily now, every day you have multiple conversations with Coach Parker, or what comes along with it? I mean, is he in your ear all the time now as a captain?
He certainly hopes not. That's the last thing you want. I'll speak for him here. I've been around long enough to know the last thing you want as a BU hockey captain is multiple conversations with Coach Parker.
We're supposed to let the guests speak.
No, I wanted to clear that up for him. I want to take a little bit of pressure off of him.
I think, he comes, he asks you how the team's doing and how the guys are doing, but we meet once a week just to make sure everything's going well. Routine. We set up a leadership council too, since we do have a young team.
Yeah. If
you look at the roster, so we kind of have a lot of guys that can take different roles on the team too. But at the end of the day, I think it's just coming to work, leading by example, working hard on the ice, because I think that if they see you working hard, everybody else is going to work hard. And if not, you kick somebody in the butt and you say, "Let's go."
That's part of the
job.
job.
Way of doing
exactly.
It. Yeah.
So,
well, let's talk a little about these freshmen. Obviously, a lot of them come with a nice resume, and certainly, which one has impressed you the most so far, just from playing along with them?
Well, I mean, I think it's a great freshman class. Obviously, Coyle, he's like a Colin Wilson mode. Big, strong boy. Competes in the corners. He's he's a skilled player. Matt Nieto, he's also another skilled player, and Adam Clendening. He might be a top 10 draft pick next year. So
projected right now, number 9.
So he plays a lot, offensive skill, like Shaddy. So I mean, I think as long as we can bring them in slowly, and throw them under the fire right away, and kind of take a few bumps and bruises, but towards the end of mid-season, we'll be ready to go.
Oh, that's kind of what my next question was going to be, is what is your expectations for these guys? And obviously you have the chance to talk with Coach Parker every day. What are his expectations and yours for these freshmen coming in? Because they will be sent right into it, because you're going to need these guys all the time.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think they've played enough big games. They've all played for, versus college kids. So I don't treat them as a freshman.
Yep.
And, playing for BU hockey, we don't like to rebuild. So
better be reloading.
There's your slogan right there.
So
There's no rebuilding seasons.
We're ready to go. I think the attitude's completely different this year from last year. You know, we're anxious to, we're hungry. We're anxious, ready to, start the games. We're tired of preseason. We're tired of getting, beat up in practice and sprints. We just want to go. So.
Sick of seeing Mike Boyle at this point.
Well, with these, obviously with a lot of youth infused into this lineup now, have you seen a difference in the style of play or anything that you can put your finger on that is possibly better than what you saw last year?
I think we're a lot faster.
Yep.
I think you can see that on ice. Coach showed us some videos, clips from last year, and we just look slow, and and you can already see in practice. We're fast, we're quick, we're coming back, but we're going down hard, but we're coming back even faster. So. Milan might like that since he complained last year we didn't back check. He always had something to complain about.
And certainly, and now, one thing that we always like to talk about is obviously there's Boston College is one of the main rivalries, but there's always, at least the players will admit it, the players will admit that there's a game that they like to circle on the schedule. Is there one you have right now, you personally?
Obviously, I'm just ready to get going. As a senior year, every game's going to, be a big thing for me. Obviously the BC games because they are national champions and that doesn't go well around here.
They're way too close to us.
Oh, way too close. And they have a little cocky to them we don't like either. So, but I'm looking forward to just this weekend and getting on the road with the guys and be good for team together on the road and hopefully bring back our first championship right away.
Well, you go from obviously winning the national championship in 2009 to we'll call it a rebuilding year, even though you don't like that phrase last year. How hungry are the veterans on this team to get back to the place where you guys were 2 years ago?
Well, if you look at if you look at the roster, we only have maybe 7 or 8 guys that were on that national championship team. So I think a lot of guys didn't really experience what it took, or what it meant to be there. But I think for the returning guys that were there, I think we're definitely hungrier. We saw what happened. We saw how we changed our attitude, and it kind of translated throughout the whole team last year. So obviously, and the new guys that haven't been there, they want to get there just as bad as us. But I think a lot of it comes down to last year our attitude wasn't there, and we were looking around the locker room not realizing that Matt, Johnny, Yip, those guys aren't there anymore. Colin, and we had to play for our team, and we never got that through our head. So this year everybody's gone, so we're just going to go out there, play hard, and see what happens.
Joe, last year you were coming off a major injury, a really horrific injury. You think back to what happened to you. This year you're coming in healthy. You've had a full off season to prepare. It's got to be a huge difference for you in terms mentally and physically.
Oh, definitely. Last year was just a struggle. I didn't really work out at all over the summer. Came back and then had another surgery over Christmas break. So kind of kept me out of the gym for a while. I think now I'm stronger. I feel great, and I think I'm ready to contribute more to the team this year, just play the way I play, the style I play, and just be a good leader and a BU hockey player.
You mentioned Kieran before, and I know with all these new faces, how nice is it to know that one spot is pretty much settled with Kieran Milan in goal. It must be nice to know that even with all this young talent that some of these positions are settled right now.
I think he had a little struggle last year, but I think he'll bounce back. He'll bounce back. I think he's ready to go. He played a lot of hockey over the summer. He's ready to go. But also, Grant's had a great year his freshman year too, and they rotated on and off. And I think Grant's ready to battle for that position now too. He had a little ankle injury last year, which set him back a little bit. But I think also if they have that competition, it's just going to make the team better too, because they're going to be competing versus each other. They want to play. They want to win. So. I think competition's healthy for a situation like that.
Yesterday was Hockey East Media Day. You're the senior captain. It's got some fringe benefits. You get a nice free buffet lunch in the middle of the week. It's not bad. What about the pick, the coaches poll? Any opinion on that? The Terriers got picked in the number 4 spot, which would be a home ice spot. Could be a spot to compete for the NCAA tournament. You think that pretty fair assessment of this team right now? A little bit under the radar screen.
Yeah. Well, first for the media day, I got too many questions about my younger brother. First off. I was like, oh my God, he hasn't even played a college game yet.
That's not what you showed up for.
You don't want anyone to see the spotlight, do you?
But I don't think polls don't really matter right now. We were ranked number 1 last year, and we were preseason ranked top 5. And how did that translate into our season? So I think obviously we want to be one of the top 4 teams. We want to be the first team. But, you know, till we lace the skates up and, you know, the lights turn on and we play the game, I think that's what's going to matter the most. And, you know, bring the right attitude and play the game the right way, we'll be ready to go.
We talked about before that you wanted to, you know, get on the road with the guys. How excited are you to see some of these younger guys get tested right away? I mean, you go out to St. Louis for the Warrior College Hockey Icebreaker. Yep. You're taking on Wisconsin and then possibly either Holy Cross or Notre Dame. You're going to get tested right away.
Yeah, and I mean, it's going to show, you know, I've been here for 3 years now. I think a lot of it comes down to how you start the season. Mm-hmm. And, you know, my freshman year we struggled and then we turned it on. My sophomore year we did great right off the bat, and last year we struggled again. And I think, you know, the first semester is important. We can't wait till Christmas time. And I think, you know, we're working hard, we're running, we're doing all the stuff we're supposed to do to, you know, to have that good start. So I think, you know, having the freshmen there with us, and like I said, they've played for Team USA, gold medals. So, you know,
they've been used to the big game.
Exactly.
Yeah, these guys now, and you know it, the way things evolve for top talent in hockey, you're playing pressure games from the time you're about 12.
Exactly.
You know, you're in a Pee Wee international tournament up in Quebec City,
exactly.
Or, you know, whatever.
We'll give them a first shift or two, and then after that, we're ready to roll.
After that, they better be comfortable.
If not, Coach Parker be in there.
Well, exactly. That's right. He'll be right back.
He's got his tune-up now, too, so he's ready to roll.
That's right. Absolutely. It's going to be even, you know, bear with it. It's going to be even worse.
Exactly.
New and improved.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to ask actually both of you this question because I think it's interesting. Is Joe, obviously we've gotten the chance to know you over these 4 years, and you've become, I guess, the jokester, you know, the team leader vocally. Now you've got these youngsters on the team. Is anyone kind of competing with you to take over that jokester or clown role on this team as well? Can anyone hold a candle to you right now?
I don't know. I think I kind of gave that jokester role to like Escobedo and those guys. I can't handle those guys. Those guys are just out of control. But
do you agree with that?
Well, I think it's about time he passed the mantle.
Yeah,
He's
you
the
know
captain now. You know,
you know, big shoes to fill. But you know,
right.
I think they'll handle it. I think, you know, now I have to kind of be more of a leader, and sometimes, you know, less is more. And I think that's kind of the way I got to play my game right now. And, you know, in the locker room, say something when I have to say it. But, you know, so you get more respect that way, and, you know, leadership, you know, goes down to that way.
Well, when you teach all these guys how to do press conferences, Bernie and I, you're going to make our job a lot easier. So we really appreciate it, Joe. And good luck this weekend. Let's get it started.
That sounds good. See you guys there.
That's Joe Pereira joining us here on BU All Access.
Good luck.
The hockey season is underway this weekend as the Terriers hosting an exhibition game against Toronto this Saturday, October 2nd at 7 p.m. over in Aganis Arena. It's your first look at a lot of freshmen.
Absolutely. Great opportunity to come out, too.
Oh, absolutely. And, I mean, you get to see, you know, you talk about the resume of this team and some of the players on this team. You just mentioned there are a lot of, you know, U.S. national team members as well. So it should be a lot of fun. A very elite class.
Top class.